best nurses I've worked with over my 20 plus years have been healthcare assistants, have been carers.
I really love being a carer. Care job over here is more or less like taking care of older people and giving them support with their day in and day out activities. Sometimes these people may not have mental capacity, so you just have to help them in making decisions that may affect their lives. So you help them to make life choices basically. And what influenced my choice to be a carer is that growing up, I was very interested in taking care of people. I had nieces and nephews who were younger than me, and I took pleasure in helping them whenever their parents weren't around. So I'm actually interested in helping people and supporting them with what they have to do.
Okay, so in my role as a support worker, it has really significantly affected the way I act towards people. I am now more patient when relating to others, and I also feel how people go through when they are vulnerable. So I've really also learned how to appreciate life, especially when you have help.
So there's significant impact this my job role has had on my life is when I got into this family. Just when I got into this country, I had no one, and when I found this job, I was able to bond with the person I was dealing with because I was working for an agency, and my shift type was a one-on-one type of shift, and with that I was able to bond with the person. I finally found out that it wasn't somebody I thought I was working for, but it was someone that I saw as a friend and always wanted to help in and out of their day.
Some things that I really learned a lot throughout this job, and some significant things that I had been carrying, which has been, it kind of changed me in a personal life, in a personal level, is to learn so much about patience and so much about looking at other people's feelings as well, and not only caring physically but also emotionally for them.
With the work and personal life balance, I would say it's a bit difficult because with a care job it's more demanding. You are required to work for 12 hours, whether the long day or for the night shift. And personally, I get home and I'm very tired, so you do not have the chance to go out and do other stuff for your private life. But other than that, there are times that you're able to make time for yourself, and I would say that the work life and the private life balance is a bit tight.
Talking of my private life, my work as support worker hasn't really had any effect on my private life because it's more flexible, and at times I go for night shift, day shift or morning shift, so depending on the rota that was given in that particular month. So I don't have any issue as at now.
A typical day as a carer, we start off by taking up from the outgoing carers, make sure that we have all the residents in their respective rooms and see that everything is fine with them. We help them with their feeding, that is, we serve them with their meals, and also assist those who are able to commute to the dining areas to have their meals. And we do have chats, monitoring charts that we use for the residents to help monitor their health and also keep track of the care given to them.
So on a typical day, what I do is that I have to undergo a personal care for my client, and also in every activity that you do for your client, you have to ask for their permission. Because you have to ask for their consent before you do a particular task for them. So right in the morning is you have to find out whether they would like to have their breakfast or have their personal care before breakfast. The choice is theirs, so they make their decision. Then you plan the day's activity. It's either you go for a walk, go for bus ride, go for shopping, or you can also do an indoor activity, playing of games or watching of movies. So that's particular what happens on a normal day. So talking about my salary, it's quite okay, but I want it to be more. After taking your rent and your transportation and your groceries, you have nothing left with it. Even talking about getting a girlfriend, because you need money to spend here as well. So I think if I get another opportunity which pay much higher, I would like to work with their company.
With the salary, I would say it's not bad for a single person, because currently I'm here alone in the UK, and I would say the salary is not bad. But I feel in the future, if I'm to have a family around, it's going to be a bit of an issue. So I would recommend that if the salary is a bit higher than it is now, it's going to be more convenient.
I'm a single mum. I've got a 20-year-old son. It hasn't been easy, paying all the bills and everything else. I think it's one of those things that you get to a point you think, oh, really? So yes, I do teach. I work with Ash Training, who are a healthcare training provider, and that's my sideline job, because I don't earn enough money, even in the NHS, and the banding that I'm at is not enough to cover my mortgage and all my bills. So it's needing that second income, unfortunately, which isn't ideal.
The salary is really good. It does help me a lot to kind of pay my expenses. To be honest, living where I live right now, it is very expensive, and I do have a lot of things to pay, a lot of bills. But with good management, for sure, I'll be able to save and things like that, to do things in the future.
The salary that I receive for now, I think is sufficient for just me, but obviously I'll need more if I'm to get a family here.
As a support worker, you need to undergo a training before you start working. So I believe when I started, I undergo 1 week training, and as time goes on, we have a lot of training, inward training and out training. We do a lot: medication, feeding, safeguarding, duty of care. We have a lot of training involved in this job.
I would like to progress in the health sector or the care sector. I would want to be in school to further my studies and be ahead in the health sector.
So, thinking of if I would like to be a support worker, if I'm reborn, if there's something like that. Okay. Yeah, I think I will not regret being in the support care work.
I don't necessarily want to do this for the rest of my life, and not because I don't like it. I actually love and enjoy it. Although I have a career that I really want to follow as a main thing in my life, which is acting. I want to be an actress, and I decided to now kind of do the childcare on the side, because not on the side, right now is the main thing, because acting is so difficult to get into, and I thought I actually want a job in the meantime that I actually enjoy. So that's why I kind of decided to go for childcare, because it's something I always enjoyed and I always liked doing.
Currently, I don't see myself progressing in the health sector being a support worker. And this being that I'm a big enthusiast of technology, and I always continue to follow that career path to be in the technology field.
Because impacting people's life is one of the things I really love doing. Yeah, and it brings me much joy within me myself, when I also believe that people have really also helped are grateful and enjoy life. They really see everything around them, and they're happy. I'm also happy. Yeah, I'm a people person. That's how I want to put it. So it's good that I really want to be in that shelf.
And also, there are some people in the facility that I'll say I kind of relate to personally, because these are people that they are advanced in age, but then they are still nice people. They relate to you in a very nice manner, and they let you know how life is all about, because life is a process, and I feel as individuals we are also going to be like them one day. So I really feel for them, how they feel. And sometimes if they are down and they are not able to eat and all of that, it makes you feel bad, because you kind of develop this relationship with them. You take them as like your family member, like your dad, your mom, or your grandparents. So it really feels bad to see them in a bad state and they are not really coping and cooperating well. So I'll say this job also comes with emotions sometimes.
I think it helped with time management, it helped with organisational, it helped with my communication skills. So it meant that going into nursing, nearly 30 I was when I started my nurse training, it meant I was probably a bit more life experience that was required, because at 18 I'm not sure I'd have been right for nursing, to be fair. So I do believe things happen for a reason.
When I get I close from work, when I'm done with my shift, I find it difficult to leave, because I knew when I came back home I had no one to talk to apart from my family back home in Ghana. And yeah, so what I usually did for him on a day is, when I get there, I try to get him on a walk if he wants to go for a walk. So we go for a very long walk because he enjoys walking and can walk for miles as long as he's got a sort of hydration in his backpack. So after the walk, we come back, have a little brunch if he wants a snack. Maybe his favorite is a sausage roll, so he gets a sausage roll, gets his tea with the sausage roll, settle, we watch movies together, listen to reggae together. He's Jamaican, so yeah, loves to listen to reggae to just calm him down during the day. And when it's about lunch, I prepare lunch for him, sit together, have lunch together. And if he's in the mood to go for a second round of walk, yeah, we'll do that. We go for walks, sit by the riverbank and just chat about nothing specific, just random stuff. He's fond of asking weird question, but yeah, I try to give him the best of answers that suits him.
And also something else that was very significant, and it has been very significant, is just seeing how much he's growing and just being part of his development has been so special. Because when I started taking care of him, he was about 6 months old, and now he's 8, almost 9 months old. Is a few days from turning 9 months. And it's crazy to see how much he has changed, because at the beginning he couldn't even sit by himself, and now he sits, and he's been laying down and putting himself up by himself, and that has been a new thing, which is crazy for me. Was crazy seeing that happening and be like, oh my gosh, he's growing up, he's developing, and we have also developed kind of a communication between us, which has been super special, because I've been kind of teaching him this little thing that I put my hands out and I tell him whenever I want to pick him up. I do that because I want to see if he wants to be picked up as well. So I put my hands out and I look at him and I go, can you reach? Can you reach? And then if he touches my hand, that means that he does wants to be picked up as well. And if he doesn't touch my hand, that means that he does not want to be picked up. So that was really cool to kind of develop our own little communication. because, you know, I want to respect him and I want to respect his feelings, because also I think people forget that babies have also feelings, and they're also, you know, little people, and they have thoughts. Even though they're babies, they do have thoughts, and they do understand more than we would actually think that they do. So it's really good for me to kind of like understand him as well.
I would like to say that the care managers and all those involved are doing quite well. Their activities are well structured, their training, their administration, their schedule, and also you know, the way they have a variety of health care for their clients are amazing, and I believe they should go on. So they should go on with that and improve as well. From my point of view, I can say that sometimes there's a lot of racism in the position that we are doing. They look down upon you because they think you can't do it. You are black, and always they like us to do more of the physical activities, personal care, on those kind of things, instead of us giving us the opportunity, instead of them giving us the opportunity to go into the administrative, go into other roles. They don't give us.
I would say that we should have more flexible working hours to help people strike their personal and work-life balance, because it's long days, and I feel if there are more people on the job, it's going to create avenue for people to have enough time.
I think at the moment within the NHS, the atmosphere is very tense. We are extremely short on numbers. The basic care provision is provided as a nurse. Sadly, it's provided by healthcare assistants, so they are the nurses now. You know, us as more senior nurses have become mini consultants, mini doctors. You know, we're decision making, you know, and we've moved away from that hands-on care, which is why I became a nurse in the first place. That's something I'd love to change. You know, the banding, the structure in the NHS is very top heavy, unfortunately, and it's something that I would, it needs review. I mean, the whole of the NHS, there's just not the numbers of people, you know, coming into the profession now. It's something that needs addressing at a higher level than anything we can do locally within local trusts and that side of things. So, you know, the progression for carers now is limited. You know, there used to be the bridging courses where healthcare assistants, even if they weren't the most academic, then actually progress and become a nurse through their experience and their on the ward, on site training. That's something they need to bring back. You know, you need to attract more older people into the profession, you know, because we come with a lot of life experience and better communication skills.